Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sobriety for Beginners, because I know that I am just a beginner in all this. It's been a good week. Actually, last night I was cleaning the kitchen after we had dinner and, just kind of cleaning up all of our mess and putting the dishes away and cleaning the pots and pans and stuff that we use for dinner. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, we finally now have a routine again. We finally have a routine of getting back to life, and it felt good. I'm a creature of habit. I am a creature of routine. I like being in certain stages of my day and knowing what's going on, because if I have too much free time, or I may get bored, or I may get lonely, and so it's nice knowing that I have something to do throughout my day. I'm just one of those people that enjoys having a routine, and it's been good. Every morning I wake up and I get my kids ready for school, and then I go to work, and then after work I get my kids from school, and then we cook dinner and we sit down to eat, and then we have homework and reading time, bedtimes, and all that stuff. And so it's nice to be back to the same routine again, because it creates that normalcy in the house. It creates like the normal lifestyle that we had from before, and it feels good. It's no longer the chaos. It's no longer of trying to keep my kids entertained all day 24/7, because there's nothing for them to do. They're no longer bored, so I'm no longer stressing about keeping them entertained. They're back to school, they're back to their lives, they're back to socializing. I'm back to what I need to do as far as work goes. My husband's back to work, and it's just nice. It's nice to be back on track. It's nice to be back in that schedule. And I know I was struggling with everybody leaving, just because they were gone. They all left. They all went to school. And I did have them in my life 24/7 all the time. So I did struggle with being alone. But now that we're back in that routine again, it's not so bad. And now I can actually sit down at my desk and say, okay, this is my time for me to focus on my work. This is now time for me to want to grow in my position and start wanting to take on more responsibilities in my position, and wanting to grow as an employee. No longer having to just do my work for the day and be done and just say, okay, I did my job. Now I can get back to the point of wanting to say, okay, what else can I do to help up with the team? I can finally get back to that again, because I really liked that from before. I really liked taking initiatives with my work, so I can finally now get back to that and not having to feel lonely because my kids are gone. It's starting to get back to the groove, and it feels good. It feels really, really good. So I'm excited for that. But my husband and I had an argument the other night, and at the end of October, I wanted to go do something. So I'm a sucker for the paranormal. I like a good ghost story. I like ghost shows, and I like, is it haunted? Is it really haunted, or is it not haunted? I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And I found out that within a couple hours of me is a old iron furnace works that's been there for 100 plus years. And when this ironworks originally started, it was back in the 1900s, where they didn't have OSHA, they didn't have work safety, things like that. So unfortunately some people did die because of the work environment that they had back at that time, back in the early 1900s. And so they claim now that this iron factory is haunted. So they do give nightly ghost tours and all that stuff. And so I had told my brother about this, and he was stoked. He was like, yeah, I'll go with you. I'll go for a ghost tour, I'll do all that. And so we were kind of like gaming each other up, getting ready to go for this ghost tour. and I found out that at the end of October, they were doing a workshop class where you get to meet with a metal sculpturist, and they will, sculpt something for you, whether it's a cast iron bowl or a sculpture or whatever, whatnot, using the materials that they have still at this iron factory. And after you have that event with the sculpturist and you create your, whatever you want it to be, then you have a nightly tour of the grounds because it's still considered haunted, I was in it to win it. I wanted to go. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I immediately booked 2 tickets to go because I've been talking about it with my brother. So I sent him a text message and he was like, yes, let's go, let's do it. I'm down for that. So I went and told my husband, I was like, guess what? They're having this event and I booked 2 tickets with, me and my brother, and I want to go. And he was like, you're not going. And that caused a fight. And he was upset because, he thought that I acted irresponsibly. I jumped the gun and bought these 2 tickets without consulting him. I didn't even ask him, if, he could go with me. I just went and bought these tickets, and he was mad about that. And he was mad, like, so now you're going to stick me with the kids? You're just going to take off for the night? What are we going to do about, like, hotel and stuff? And so I did act impulsively. I did go ahead and just buy the tickets because I wanted to, but I wanted to make sure that, I reserved a spot because I really wanted to go. Like, I've been talking about going to do this. I've been talking about doing this for a long time. And he got mad. And so we did fight and argue. And, I ended up crying, and he was following me around the house, and I was like, why are you following me? And he's like, because I know you're stressed, and I know you tend to drink when you're stressed. And I'm like, I don't have any alcohol in the house. Like, believe me, if I had alcohol in the house, I would have been drank or tossed out a long time ago, so why are you following me around the house? And he's like, I just know when you're stressed, you tend to drink. And I'm like, I'm not jumping in my car to go to the store and go buy more alcohol. I'm not, going into my hiding spots to find, something that's been hidden in the house, because there isn't anything in the house, and that bothered me. But, he just kept following me around the house, and I'm like, stop following me, get away from me. I need to, take my moment to breathe. You need your moment to breathe. We just need to pause and take a break from each other because we're arguing about this situation, and, it did cause, a little bit more havoc, but, we did end up deciding that he wants to come too. So I, did end up buying a 3rd ticket so he can come as well, although he doesn't believe in it, although he thinks it's goofy and it's stupid. And he's just, he's coming along for the ride to appease me, kind of thing. But, it took a lot of fighting and arguing to get to that point because he wouldn't listen. And we just, kept talking over each other, and it took a long time to get to the point of being like, well, then why don't you just come with me, And we were both just stressed out about it. But the fact that, he followed me around the house because he wanted to make sure I wasn't going to go drink bothered me, So I just wanted to talk about it, I didn't have anything in the house. I wasn't going to drink, but the fact that, he was keeping an eye on me did bother me, and I wanted to kind of air that out. But so anyways, on October, at the end of October, me, my husband, and my brother are going to this event where we can, create a sculpture, and we can go on a ghost tour and all that good stuff. And it ended up being, an overnight trip for mommy and daddy, where we can take a break from the kids for one night. It is a couple hours away, so they'll spend the night with either grandma or an aunt and uncle or whatever, whatnot. But they're little, so they're pretty easy to to sleep with, snuggle with, all that good stuff. So it ended up being more of a date night kind of thing than anything else, but it took a lot of hard work to get to that point. So it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle, but I'm glad that we finally came to the point of saying, let's both go. Let's both do this. Let's compromise with each other. Let's both go do this. So I'm excited for that. But I wanted to talk about it. I didn't drink, and I was stressed, yes, but we made it through. And I didn't have to result in drinking and finding my stash. And now we can actually have a mommy-daddy date out of it. So I'm excited for that. But that's what I want to talk about today. Just because, sometimes it is hard to go through the arguments and feel the stress, and that is one of my biggest triggers was, if we were arguing, I would immediately go drink just because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I didn't have to this time, so it was good. It was good not having to rely on numbing myself from the feelings of drinking. So we're just both stubborn people. Honestly, that's all it is. We're both just really stubborn, and we just need to work through that, but that is our own problems. So anyways, I hope everybody else is having a great day. The fall season's coming around, so it's getting a little bit cooler. I can definitely see the leaves changing and all that stuff, and it feels good that fall's coming around. It's nice to have the cooler weather sometimes. So hope everybody else is having a great day, and I will talk to you later.